cada vez que te pienso.
Heart of the Hunter is a South African thriller about a retired operative for a secret organization, part of whose mission it is to protect the gains won by the people of post-apartheid South Africa. When a dubious candidate arises on the political scene, a senior member of the organization pulls the operative, Zuko, out of the shadows, and though he's reluctant to get involved, he ends up having no choice. Heart of the Hunter is based on a novel of the same name by acclaimed author Deon Meyer, and is yet another fantastic foray into the dark side of the national politics of Mzansi, as South Africa is affectionately known. It's a thrilling film that never has a dull moment, full of the conspiracy, betrayal, and villainy that you expect to see within the genre. Directed by Mandla Dube, the film stars Bonko Khoza, one of my favorite South African actors, as Zuko, and he's surrounded by a strong and stellar cast that includes legends like Connie Ferguson as the troubled head of a private security company which must do the bidding of presidential candidate Daza Mtima, played brilliantly by Sisanda Hena. The cast also includes veteran screen icon Peter Butler, as well as Masasa Mbangeni as Malime Mambi, Dion Coetzee as disgraced journalist Mike Bressler, and we also get to see the continued rise of talents like Nicole Fortune as insider Naledi Gumede and Wanda Banda as Alison Baloy. My real reason for looking forward to watching this film, though, was to see my nephew from my church family, Buleng Mokgotsi, play the part of Pagamile Mambi, the son of Zuko's love interest. The young man had me smiling from ear to ear, and he didn't disappoint at all. Shout out Buleng. So coming to the review, overall I enjoyed the film. It was entertaining, gripping, as should be expected from anything derived from a Deon Meyer book. But, and this is really the only but I have, I think this should have been a limited series, not a movie. Let me explain. A huge part of Heart of the Hunter is the secret mythology of the organization Zuko is or was a part of. Though there are some mentions here and there as we get to know Zuko and his former mentor Johnny Klein, played by Peter Butler, we never really get to know who they are. Maybe that's part of the air of secrecy, but for me as a viewer, I would have wanted to know more and see more. One of the negative consequences of not getting to know the organization well is that I felt it stopped me from getting to know Zuko as well as I should have. So in the end, he ends up not feeling like as well-rounded a main character as I would have wanted. Making the film a limited series of 3 or 4 episodes might have helped with that. Secondly, the antagonist, Daza Mtima. Again, so much is made of how evil he is and how bad for democracy he is, and for sure we see some of that on screen. We know he's a jerk, and we know how he ruined Mike Bressler's career. We also know he likes nice things and he likes to spend time with the ladies, but beyond that we don't actually ever really get to see the full extent of why he is so bad for democracy that Klein has to pull Zuko out of retirement. I mean, being a jerk isn't necessarily the sign of a bad presidential candidate. In fact, many are. And so outside of that, I came out of the film not fully convinced I knew him well enough as a villain that really needed to be stopped at all costs. Thirdly, Connie's character, Moleboheng Kwena, who's just known throughout the film as Mo. Of all the performances in the film, I felt Connie's was probably the most locked in and intense. Yes, she's a pro, but at the level of the character, she's a clearly troubled and conflicted character. We know that the villain, Mtima, has something on her, and he also says he has something on her father, and it has something to do with the apartheid era, but we never quite know what it is. We see a file thrown and somebody looks at the file and there's pictures in there, but what actually is the deal with her? We don't really know. So again, we buy into her intensity and are fascinated by it, but we never fully know what's going on inside her head. Perhaps a limited series with more character development into her could have helped. So these 3 examples show that Heart of the Hunter plays in a very delicate area between outrightly showing us what we need to know and concealing information. My feeling though is that it leans too far on the side of withholding teasing or hinting in a way that's not helpful for us as viewers. And so, other than making the film super long, a better way would have been to tell it as a limited series. Having said all that though, I still do think it's worth watching. It's good entertainment with a really good cast, but I feel for it to have been brilliant, I think the world and character building could have been deeper and better. So if you've watched the film, what did you think? Let me know in the comments section. From me here on The Real Source, this is Tafadzwa saying thank you so much for watching, and do take care.